Hello, English learners. Welcome back to Daily English Talks. I'm Mia, and today I want to share something powerful with you, something that can truly change how you learn English forever. The topic of today's lesson is the only skill you need to become fluent in English. Yes, just one skill. And if you master this one, everything else will start to feel easier, smoother, and more natural when you speak, listen, or even think in English. Before we begin, I want you to take a deep breath. Relax your shoulders and remind yourself that fluency is not about perfection. It's about connection. It's about understanding, expressing, and feeling confident in your words. So today, as we talk, imagine that we're having a calm, friendly chat, one that helps you unlock your natural English voice. Now, what is this one skill that can make you fluent in English? It's the skill of thinking in English. When you think in English, you stop translating, you stop hesitating, and you start speaking more naturally, more automatically, and more confidently. You see, most learners get stuck because they try to translate every sentence from their native language. Their brain becomes busy switching words, rules, and grammar structures. But true fluency happens when your thoughts start forming directly in English. You no longer need to find words. The words just appear naturally. Let's make this idea simple with an example. Imagine you want to say, "I'm hungry," but instead of translating from your language, you feel the situation. Your stomach growls, and instantly, in your mind, the English words appear. I'm hungry. That's the power of thinking directly in English. Now, let's practice this skill together. I'll describe a few simple situations, and I want you to imagine them in your mind. No translation, just feeling and responding in English. You wake up in the morning, you stretch your arms and look out the window. The sun is shining. What do you think? Say it softly in English. What a beautiful morning. You walk to the kitchen. You smell coffee. You smile and say, "I need a cup of coffee." You open your phone and see a message from your friend. You say, "Oh, I'll reply later." Each of these moments trains your brain to respond automatically in English. Small, simple, but powerful steps toward real fluency. Let's talk about why this one skill, thinking in English, matters so much. When you focus on thinking in English, you begin to create direct connections in your brain. You stop connecting English to your first language and start linking it directly to meaning and feeling. That's what native speakers do. They don't translate. They connect words with experiences, emotions, and images. Think about this. When you see an apple, do you say the word apple in your head, or do you see the picture of an apple? The truth is, your mind sees the image first, not the translation. The same happens when you think in English. You train your brain to connect English words directly to images and ideas, not translations. Let's try a quick mental exercise. Ready? Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a sunny beach. You hear the waves, the birds, and the soft breeze. Now think in English. The sea is calm. I'm relaxing. The water feels cool. No translation, just English flowing naturally in your mind. That's how you begin to reprogram your mind for English fluency. Here's a simple daily practice you can start today. Every morning, describe your routine in English, silently in your mind. For example, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm getting dressed, I'm leaving for work, I'm waiting for the bus. Keep your sentences short and natural. This trains your brain to think in English all day long. Now, let's do a practice round together. I'll describe a situation and you repeat it after me, imagining it clearly in your mind. You wake up. Repeat after me. I'm waking up. You look out the window. The weather looks nice. You pick up your phone. Let's check the time. You feel a bit sleepy. I need some coffee. You smile. Today is going to be a good day. Perfect. See how simple that was? You're building fluency not by learning more words, but by training your mind to think in English naturally. Now, let's go deeper. Fluency is not just about speaking fast, it's about speaking comfortably, without fear or pressure. Thinking in English helps you reduce the gap between your thoughts and your words. That gap is what causes hesitation. When you start thinking in English, that hesitation disappears. Many learners say, "Mia, I understand English, but when I speak, I freeze." That's because your thoughts are forming in another language first. You're spending mental energy translating instead of expressing. So, the moment you switch to thinking directly in English, you free up that energy, and your confidence grows instantly. Let's do a confidence-building exercise together. Imagine you're meeting someone new. They say, "Hi, how are you?" Now, without translation, just answer naturally. "I'm good, thanks. How about you?" Now they ask, "What do you do?" You say, "I'm a student. I'm learning English every day." They smile and ask, "Why are you learning English?" You say, "Because I love it. I want to speak fluently and travel the world." These short, automatic answers are what make conversations flow. Thinking in English gives you that speed and comfort naturally, without effort. Here's another small tip. Don't worry too much about grammar when you practice thinking in English. At this stage, the goal is flow, not perfection. The more you think in English, the more your grammar will improve naturally through repetition and exposure. Just like a child learns their first language, through listening, observing, and thinking in that language every day. Now, I want you to try something interesting. For the next minute, describe everything around you in English. Look around, your desk, your room, your phone, your cup, and softly say in your mind what you see. This is my desk. There's a notebook. My phone is on the table. The window is open. I can hear birds outside. This small exercise trains your brain to describe the world around you using English words. And that's real fluency training. You can do this while walking, cooking, or even relaxing. For example, when cooking, think, I'm cutting the vegetables, I'm boiling the water, I'm adding salt. When walking outside, the sky looks bright today, the air feels cool, I see people walking with smiles. When you do this daily, you stop learning English and start living English. And that's when magic happens. Let's pause for a moment and reflect. You already have all the words you need for basic conversation. You just need to unlock them. And thinking in English is the key. Try this reflection exercise. Ask yourself in English, what do I like about learning English? And answer softly in English. Maybe you'll say, I like how English connects people around the world. Or, I like that I can watch movies and understand more. Or, I like expressing myself in a new language. By answering these kinds of questions in English, even to yourself, you're strengthening your fluency every single day. Here's a small shadowing practice for you. Listen and repeat naturally, imagining the rhythm and flow of real speech. I love learning English. Every day I'm getting better. I think in English when I speak. English feels more natural now. I can express my thoughts clearly. Great job! Each time you do this, your brain becomes more comfortable forming English sentences instantly. Before we close this first part, remember, you don't need hundreds of tricks or complicated grammar rules. You just need to build one habit, thinking in English every day, in every situation, no matter how small. The more you do it, the more fluent you'll feel. So, starting today, promise yourself this. I will spend a few minutes every day thinking only in English. Whether you're waiting for the bus, brushing your teeth, or walking outside, use that moment to think in English. It's a small step, but if you keep doing it daily, it becomes the strongest fluency skill you'll ever have. Let's end this part with one last short practice. Repeat after me softly. I'm learning English with confidence. I can think in English easily. My English is improving every day. Fluency feels natural to me. Beautiful. Keep repeating these positive thoughts in English, because the more you believe it, the faster you'll live it. Let's continue where we left off. We talked about the importance of thinking in English, how it can unlock your fluency and help you speak naturally without translating. Now, let's take this deeper into real-life situations, so you can understand how to use this skill everywhere you go. Imagine this. You're walking into a coffee shop. The smell of coffee fills the air. The barista smiles and asks, What can I get you? In that moment, your brain has two choices: to translate from your native language or to think directly in English. If you translate, you hesitate. If you think in English, you simply respond, "Can I have a latte, please?" That's it. Smooth, natural, fluent. This is what we're building today. The habit of instant English thinking in real life. You don't need to memorize phrases. You just need to live them. Let's do a little exercise together. Imagine you're in that same coffee shop right now. You look at the menu and decide what to order. Say it out loud softly. "I'd like a cappuccino, please." Now imagine you're waiting for your drink and thinking in English. "It smells so good. I can't wait to take a sip." And then you get your cup and say, "Thank you. Have a nice day." This is what fluent English thinking sounds like. Not perfect sentences, but natural ones, coming from emotion and presence. Now, I want to show you something interesting about how thinking in English affects your confidence. When you think in English, your thoughts are shorter, cleaner, and more focused. In your native language, you might think, "Okay, how do I say this in English?" But in English thinking, you just say it. "I'm happy today." That's great. Let's go. This simplicity helps you stop overthinking. And when you stop overthinking, your speech becomes smooth and relaxed. Let's test this together. I'll say a few feelings, and I want you to respond instantly in English. No translation, just the first natural sentence that comes to your mind. You just finished your work for the day. How do you feel? Say it. I'm tired but happy. You meet your best friend after a long time. What do you say? It's so good to see you. You get good news from your teacher. Say it. That's amazing. You missed the bus. Oh no, not again. You see a beautiful sunset. Wow, that's beautiful. You see, the power of fluency lives in these small moments of expression. If you can train your brain to think and respond in English in these moments, you'll never freeze again during conversations. Now let's talk about something that many learners struggle with: the fear of making mistakes. Most people think they must be perfect to sound fluent, but that's not true at all. Fluency isn't perfection, it's flow. And the more you think in English, the less you'll fear mistakes, because your mind becomes used to the rhythm and sound of English. I want you to try a mindset shift right now. Instead of saying, "I made a mistake," say, "I'm learning something new." Mistakes are not failures. They're signs of growth. Let's do a small reflection practice together. Repeat softly after me. I'm allowed to make mistakes. Every mistake helps me learn. I'm improving every single day. Fluency is a journey, not a race. Beautiful. Keep this mindset with you every time you practice. Now, let's apply English thinking to a common daily life activity. Talking to yourself during your day. This is one of the best ways to practice thinking in English. For example, while cooking, you can say to yourself, I'm washing the vegetables, I'm cutting the onions, I'm boiling the rice. When you get dressed, this shirt looks nice. It's a bit cold today. I'll wear my jacket. When you're cleaning your room, let's start with the bed. I'll fold the clothes. I'll sweep the floor. You don't need anyone to talk to. Your day becomes your English classroom. Let's try this together as a guided practice. Imagine your morning routine and say these lines softly after me. I'm waking up. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm washing my face. I'm making breakfast. I'm getting ready for work. I'm leaving the house now. These small lines are not just sentences. They're habits that train your brain to stay in English mode all day. Now imagine it's evening. You've come home after a long day, and you can keep thinking in English even now. I'm so tired. I'll take a shower. I'll relax for a while. I'll watch something on TV. It's not about memorizing English. It's about living in English. Let's practice another situation. You're texting a friend in English. You can think, what should I say? I'll ask how they are. I'll tell them about my day. Then say it in English. Hey, how are you? I just finished work. It was a busy day, but I'm okay. These short, natural though, T's are what build your fluency muscle over time. Let's try a short conversational shadowing round now. I'll say both sides of a short dialogue, and you'll repeat softly after me. Ready? Hi, how are you today? I'm good, thanks. What about you? I'm doing great. How was your weekend? It was nice. I went out with my family. That sounds fun. Yeah, it was really nice. Beautiful. You're not just repeating sentences. You're hearing the rhythm of real English conversation. Now, let's talk about something subtle but very important. Emotional connection to the language. Thinking in English becomes easier when you connect it with emotions instead of grammar. For example, when you're happy, say it in English. I'm so happy. When you're sad, I feel a bit down today. When you're excited, I can't wait. Each emotion you name in English strengthens your fluency from the inside out. Let's practice this emotion exercise. Repeat softly and imagine each feeling clearly. I'm calm and relaxed. I'm curious about new things. I'm proud of my progress. I'm excited to learn more. I'm confident when I speak English. Excellent. This is not just language training, it's mindset training too. Now let's talk about another simple daily practice. English reflection at night. Before you go to sleep, take 2 minutes and think in English about your day. You can say in your mind, today I learned something new. I spoke a little English with my friend. I watched an English video. Tomorrow I'll practice again. These nightly reflections help your mind stay connected to English naturally, even when you're not studying. Let's try it together. Imagine it's night now. You're lying in bed, feeling calm. Think in English with me. Today was a good day. I practiced my English. I made progress. Tomorrow, I'll be even better. Good night. Soft, simple, and powerful. Thinking in English also improves your listening skills automatically. When your brain is used to forming English thoughts, it recognizes words and patterns faster when you hear them. That's why native speakers seem to understand conversations easily. Their mind is already thinking in English all the time. Here's a listening awareness practice you can try. The next time you watch a movie or listen to an English video, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what am I thinking about this right now? In English. Maybe you'll say, that character is funny, or I like this scene, or I didn't understand that word, but I'll check later. The key is, you're reacting in English, not translating. Every time you do that, you're strengthening the same skill we've been talking about, the ability to think directly in English without needing your first language at all. Let's make it even more practical with an everyday conversation example. Imagine you're shopping. You go to the cashier and say, "Hi, how are you?" They reply, "I'm good, thank you. Did you find everything okay?" You say, "Yes, thank you. Just this one." They ask, "Would you like a bag?" You reply, "Yes, please." And when they hand your receipt, you say, "Thanks, have a nice day." Now, try thinking that scene in your mind again. See it, hear it, and repeat it in English. This is how you rewire your brain through real-life imagination. You can do this with any situation, at the park, at work, at school, or even at home. Imagine yourself living your day in English and narrate your thoughts naturally. Let's do another imagination-based practice. You're at the park, the weather is nice. You hear children laughing, birds singing. Now think in English. It's a beautiful day. I like the sound of birds. The wind feels nice on my face. Then imagine you meet someone. There and talk a bit. "Hi, nice to see you. How's your day going?" "Oh, I'm just relaxing. It's so peaceful here." Every time you practice like this, you're not memorizing. You're experiencing English, which is the foundation of true fluency. Remember, fluency doesn't come from reading hundreds of grammar books. It comes from consistent daily use, from thinking, feeling, and living your thoughts in English. Before we finish this part, let's end with one more powerful mindset exercise. Repeat softly with feeling. English is becoming my second nature. I can think and speak without fear. My mind understands English easily. I enjoy every moment of learning. Fluency is growing inside me every day. Perfect. You're doing beautifully. The more you connect emotionally with these sentences, the faster your brain will start thinking in English automatically, like breathing. Now that you're starting to understand how thinking in English works in your daily life, let's go even deeper into how this one skill transforms not only the way you speak, but also the way you feel when using English. Because fluency isn't just a language ability, it's a mindset shift. It's the way you see yourself through the words you use every single day. Most learners think English is something they need to study, but in truth, English is something you need to live. When you start thinking in English, you stop feeling like a student and start feeling like a speaker, a communicator, someone who naturally belongs to the language. Let's imagine this together. You're walking through your day. Maybe you're on your way to work or school, and instead of being lost in random thoughts in your native language, you begin quietly describing your world in English. You look around and think, "The sky looks gray today. I think it might rain. I forgot my umbrella." You see someone smiling at you and you think, "They seem friendly. Maybe they're having a good day." You pass a coffee shop and think, "That smells amazing. Maybe I'll get one later." Each of these tiny moments, simple thoughts, small sentences, they are rewiring your brain to use English naturally. Let's practice this right now, slowly. Think and repeat softly after me while imagining each scene. The street is quiet this morning. I can hear the sound of cars in the distance. There's a soft wind on my face. I feel calm and ready for the day. I like mornings like this. Good. That's what natural English fluency feels like. Soft, easy, connected to the moment. Now, one of the biggest benefits of thinking in English is that it helps you develop what I call inner fluency. Inner fluency means being able to talk to yourself in English in your mind without needing translation. It's your inner dialogue, the conversation you have with yourself every day. And when that becomes English, everything else follows easily. Let's do a small reflection practice. Imagine you're planning your day in your mind right now. Think softly in English. Okay, first I'll have breakfast, then I'll reply to some messages. Later I'll go for a walk. And tonight I'll read a book. That's inner fluency. It's gentle, natural, and powerful. When your thoughts are in English, your speaking becomes effortless because you're not switching languages anymore. You're simply expressing what's already in your mind. Let's try something fun. I'll give you a short challenge. For the next minute, imagine you can't use your native language at all. You have to think only in English, even for simple things. If you feel hungry, think, "I'm hungry. I want something to eat." If you're feeling bored, think, "I need to do something fun." If you're tired, think, "I should rest for a while." These tiny thoughts are like mini workouts for your fluency muscle. And just like any exercise, the more you practice, the stronger you get. Now, Let's talk about how to expand your thoughts naturally. Many learner say, Mia, I can think in simple English, but how do I move to more advanced thoughts? The secret is, don't rush. Let your sentences grow naturally, one piece at a time. For example, instead of just saying, I'm hungry, you can say, I'm hungry, but I don't know what to eat. Or, I'm hungry. Maybe I'll make something quick. Or, I'm hungry. I think I'll order pizza tonight. This way, you start adding layers to your thinking, your sentences become longer, your thoughts more expressive, and your fluency more flexible. Let's practice that together. I'll say the beginning of a sentence and you'll finish it in English naturally, in your own way. Ready? I'm tired, but maybe you'll say I need to finish my work. I'm happy because maybe I passed my exam. I'm a little nervous because maybe I have an interview tomorrow. I want to go out, but maybe it's raining right now. I'm thinking about maybe watching a movie tonight. See? That's how you start building your own fluent thoughts without translation. Now let's connect this to emotions again. When you feel something, try to name it in English instead of your first language. For example, when you feel excited, say to yourself, I feel excited. When you feel disappointed, I feel disappointed, but that's okay. When you feel relaxed, I feel calm and peaceful. This emotional awareness in English strengthens your fluency deeply because it links the language to your feelings, not just your brain. Let's do a short emotion shadowing exercise. Repeat these lines softly with meaning. I'm calm and relaxed right now. I'm proud of my progress. I enjoy speaking English. I'm confident when I talk. I can express myself easily. Wonderful. Those words are not just sentences, they're emotional training in English. Now, I want to share something interesting about how your brain adapts. When you keep thinking in English, your brain starts recognizing patterns. For example, it notices that English sentences often start with I am, I will, I have, or I can. It notices that adjectives come before nouns like a big house, a beautiful day, or a quiet night. You don't need to study these patterns. Your brain learns them naturally through repetition. So when you think in English daily, your grammar improves automatically, without effort. Let's practice a small pattern repetition together. Repeat after me. I am learning English. I will speak fluently. I have improved a lot. I can understand more every day. I am confident in myself. That's how grammar becomes a rhythm, not a rule. Now let's do something new. Thinking out loud. Thinking in English doesn't have to be silent. You can also speak softly to yourself during your day. For example, when you're cooking, you can whisper, let's cut the tomatoes. Now I'll add some salt. Smells good. when you're working. Okay, let's check the next task. I'll write this email now. I'm almost done. Talking softly to yourself may feel funny at first, but it's one of the fastest ways to make English automatic. You'll start noticing that words come out without hesitation because your brain is used to producing them directly in English. Let's practice together with some gentle out-loud thoughts. Imagine you're at home doing simple things. Repeat softly, "Let's clean the table. I'll make a cup of tea. It's a little cold. I'll close the window. I'll check my messages. I'll take a short break now." Very nice. This kind of practice can turn your daily routine into a fluent English environment. Now let's talk about another important part of fluency: listening and thinking at the same time. When you listen to someone speaking English, don't just focus on understanding words. Focus on thinking along with them. Try to predict what they'll say next, or summarize what they said in your own English thoughts. For example, if someone says, "I went to the park yesterday," immediately think, "Oh, they went out. It must have been nice weather." Or, "That sounds fun." This mental participation keeps your English brain active, even while you're listening. Let's do a quick listening thinking simulation. I'll tell you a short story, and after each line, I'll pause for you to think something in English. Yesterday, I went to the supermarket. Think something like, "I need to go shopping too." I bought some fruits and vegetables. Maybe, "That sounds healthy." The cashier was friendly and smiled. Perhaps that's nice. I like polite people. Then it started raining on my way home. Maybe, "Oh no, I hope she had an umbrella." When I got home, I made a cup of tea and relaxed. Maybe, "That's the best feeling after rain." See how your brain stays in English all the way through? That's active fluency thinking. Now let's talk about something else. How patience plays a big role in developing this skill. Thinking in English doesn't happen overnight. It's something you grow day by day, like a plant. You water it with small daily moments of practice, describing your world, feeling your emotions, listening, repeating, reflecting, and slowly, your brain starts living in English naturally. So be patient with yourself. Every time you catch yourself translating, don't get upset. Just gently return to English thinking again. It's like training a muscle. It needs kindness, not pressure. Let's practice this patient mindset with a short affirmation round. Repeat softly after me. I'm patient with my learning. I grow a little every day. I trust my progress. Fluency is coming naturally to me. I'm proud of how far I've come. Beautiful. This is the energy you need for long-term fluency. Before we end this part, let's do one last real-life fluency visualization together. Imagine you're sitting at a cafe with a friend, speaking comfortably in English. You're laughing, responding naturally, and not thinking about grammar at all. The conversation flows like music. Tea, He friend asks you about your plans, and you answer easily. Tomorrow I'm going to visit my family. You ask them, how about you? What are your plans? They respond, and you smile, understanding every word. You feel proud, calm, and confident. Now repeat softly after me, imagining that feeling in your chest. I can speak naturally in English. Conversations feel easy for me. I enjoy expressing myself clearly. I think and speak without fear. I am becoming truly fluent. Yes, that's the power of the skill we're developing together. It's not just speaking English. It's thinking English, living English, and feeling English. Now that you've begun to build the habit of thinking in English throughout your day, let's go deeper into how you can keep this skill alive and make it part of your personality. Because fluency isn't something you achieve once, it's something you maintain through daily connection. Every thought, every sentence, every quiet moment you spend in English adds a layer of strength to your mind. Many learners say, Mia, I practice thinking in English for a while, but then I forget and go back to my native language. That's completely normal. The brain always returns to what feels familiar. But with gentle repetition, you can make English feel as natural as your first language. You don't need force. You just need consistency. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't think about it anymore. You just do it every morning. That's how thinking in English should become. A natural, effortless part of your life. So, how do we build that? The answer is daily micro moments of English. These are small 10-second practices that you sprinkle throughout your day. For example, when you're walking to work, think, I'm walking to the office. The air feels cool today. When you're cooking, think, I'm cutting the onions. I hope this tastes good. When you're waiting for the elevator, think, it's taking a while. Maybe it's busy right now. These little English thoughts are like drops of water feeding the roots of your fluency. Let's try this micro moment exercise together. I'll describe a short routine and you'll quietly repeat the thoughts in English after me. I'm walking to the store. The street is busy today. I see children playing. The weather feels nice. I smile and keep walking. Beautiful. See how natural that feels? These aren't long sentences or complicated grammar. They're real thoughts that match your life. Now let's add another layer. Reaction thinking. This is when you respond in English to small things that happen around you. For example, when you drop something, instead of saying something in your native language, just think, oops, that slipped. When you spill water, say, oh no, I need a towel. When you find something nice, say, wow, that's beautiful. This type of practice rewires your instinctive reactions. And that's when fluency becomes automatic. Let's do a quick round together. I'll give you a situation, and you respond in English instantly. No translation. You hear someone laugh. Say, that's funny, You see rain outside. Say, "It's raining again." You find your phone after looking for it. Say, "Finally, there it is." You drop your pen. Say, "Oops, my pen." You hear your favorite song. Say, "I love this one." That's great. You're teaching your brain to react in English, not just speak in English. Now, let's talk about one of the most beautiful results of this practice: freedom. When you can think in English, you stop worrying about mistakes. You stop thinking about what others might say, and you start focusing on what you want to say. That freedom gives you confidence, calmness, and joy in every conversation. I want you to imagine this feeling right now. You're in a group of people speaking English. Everyone is talking, laughing, sharing ideas. You listen, you understand, and you join in easily. You're not translating, you're not hesitating. Your mind is flowing with theirs. You feel light, relaxed, and proud. Hold that image for a moment. Feel it. Now, softly repeat after me. I'm free when I speak English. I express myself clearly. My words flow naturally. I understand easily. I enjoy conversations in English. That's the emotional side of fluency, the part that makes you love learning, not fear it. Now let's focus on another practice: describing feelings and surroundings as a habit. Whenever you experience something, describe it in English, even silently. This connects English to your senses. For example, when eating something delicious, think, "This tastes amazing." When you're tired, think, "I need some rest." When you hear birds, think, "That sound is peaceful." Let's do a sensory thinking exercise together. I'll guide you through it step by step. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine you're sitting by a window. You can hear soft rain outside. You feel the cool air touching your face. You're holding a warm cup of tea. Now think in English with me. The rain sounds gentle. The cup feels warm in my hands. The air smells fresh. I feel calm and peaceful. This is my quiet time. That's how you connect English to your senses. And this is one of the deepest forms of thinking in English because it links language with feeling. You can also practice this at night before sleeping. Just describe your day in English, 1 or 2 sentences at a time. You might say, "Today was busy, but I did my best. I'm grateful for what I learned. Tomorrow will be even better." Let's practice that now. Imagine it's nighttime. You're lying down, lights are off. Softly repeat after me. Today, I learned something new. I practiced my English. I spoke more confidently. I feel proud of myself. Tomorrow, I'll keep improving. Wonderful. This nightly English reflection helps you store new patterns in your long-term memory while you sleep. Now, Let's talk about visualization, one of the strongest tools for thinking in English faster. Visualization means creating mental movies in English. Seeing yourself in real situations, hearing your own English voice, feeling comfortable as you speak. Let's try one together. Imagine you're at the airport, traveling abroad for the first time. You hear the announcements in English. You walk to the counter and the agent says, "Good morning. May I see your passport?" Without hesitation, you answer, "Sure, here it is." They ask, "Where are you flying today?" You say, "I'm flying to London." You smile, and the conversation continues naturally. Now think, that's me. I can do this easily. Repeat softly after me. I can travel confidently in English. I can handle real conversations. I can think quickly and respond clearly. English is my comfort zone. Perfect. When you visualize success in English, your brain practices it even before it happens in real life. Let's go even further. Imagine you're in a job interview in English. The interviewer smiles and asks, "Tell me about yourself." And you answer smoothly, "I'm a positive and hard-working person. I enjoy learning new things and helping people." They ask, "Why do you want this job?" And you reply, "Because I believe my skills match what you're looking for, and I love working in this field." See how confident that feels? That confidence begins with English thinking, not memorized phrases, but genuine thought flow. Let's lock that in with a quick practice. Repeat after me. I can express myself in any situation. I can speak with confidence and ease. I can share my thoughts naturally. I'm ready for every English conversation. Very nice. Every time you repeat thoughts like these, you're not only training your voice but also your identity, the identity of someone who belongs to English. Now let's address something important: negative self-talk. Many learners think things like, "My English isn't good enough," or "I can't speak fluently yet." These thoughts block progress because your mind listens to what you say. So instead, change those inner thoughts into positive English affirmations. When you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not fluent," switch it immediately to, "I'm becoming more fluent every day." When you think, "I make mistakes," change it to, "I'm learning with every mistake." Let's practice turning negative thoughts into positive ones. I'll say the negative one, and you'll replace it with the positive version. I can't speak fast. I'm learning to speak naturally. My accent is bad. My accent shows my story. I forget words. I remember more each day. I'm nervous when speaking. I'm becoming more confident. I'll never be fluent. Fluency is growing inside me now. Perfect. That's how you change not just your thoughts, but your entire mindset toward English. Let's finish this part with a long, flowing shadowing round, a daily life scene, fully in English, designed to make you feel the rhythm of natural thought. Imagine it's a Sunday morning. You wake up slowly. The sunlight is soft. You stretch and smile. It's a peaceful morning. I feel rested. I'll make some breakfast, maybe toast and tea. The kitchen smells nice. I like quiet mornings. I check my phone, a message from a friend. I smile. Maybe I'll call them later. I open the window. The air feels cool and fresh. I take a deep breath. I'm thankful for today. Stay with that feeling, calm, fluent, and full of gentle confidence. Remember, fluency doesn't live in books. It lives in your thoughts. It's not about learning more. It's about thinking more. In English, naturally, every day. So promise yourself this again. I will live my day in English. I will think in English. I will let English be a part of who I am. And softly repeat after me before we end this part. English is my daily language now. I think clearly and confidently. My thoughts flow easily in English. I'm living my fluency every day. Take a deep breath, smile, and carry this peaceful confidence with you as we move forward. You're doing wonderfully so far. In the last parts, we explored how thinking in English changes not just the way you speak, but the way you experience the world around you. Now let's move deeper into daily life, into those quiet, ordinary moments that secretly build your fluency more than any textbook ever could. Think about how much time we spend doing simple things every day. Walking, eating, cleaning, checking our phone, talking to ourselves in our mind. Those moments may feel small, but if you use them in English, they become your most powerful classroom. Let's start with something simple. Mornings. The way you start your day in English can shape your entire mindset. When you wake up, don't rush into your native language thoughts. Instead, take a deep breath and softly say to yourself, "Good morning. It's a new day. I'm ready to learn something new." This small English greeting is like opening a mental door. It sets the rhythm for your whole day. Let's practice a calm morning routine together. Repeat softly after me and imagine each scene clearly in your mind. I'm opening my eyes slowly. The light is soft. It feels peaceful. I stretch my arms and smile. It's a new morning. I'm thankful for today. I'll get up and make my bed. It feels good to start clean. I walk to the kitchen. I can smell coffee. I pour a cup and take a sip. Nice and warm. I feel ready to begin my day. Beautiful. When you begin your morning thinking in English, you gently remind your brain that English is part of your life, not a subject to study. Now let's move into another daily space. Conversations with yourself when you're doing small chores. Imagine cleaning your room, folding clothes, dusting a shelf, or washing dishes. You can turn all of that into fluent English training just by thinking about what you're doing. For example, you can say in your mind, I'm folding my clothes neatly. I like when everything looks organized. The floor is clean now. The room smells fresh. These simple present tense sentences are perfect for training your fluency because they connect words directly to action. Let's do that together now. Imagine you're tidying up your room and softly repeat after me. Let's clean the table first. I'll pick up these books and put them away. I'm wiping the shelf. It's a bit dusty. Now I'll vacuum the floor. Everything looks better already. You see, this isn't grammar practice. It's real-life English thinking. The more you connect English to your daily tasks, the more natural it becomes. Now, let's talk about how you can use English while moving, when walking outside, traveling to work, or waiting somewhere. Those are moments many people waste scrolling or daydreaming, but you can use them to think in English. For example, if you're walking to the bus stop, describe what you see. The sky looks bright today. There's a cool breeze. I see people hurrying to work. If you're sitting in a car, think, the road is busy. I hope we get there on time. If you're waiting in a line, think, it's taking a while, but that's okay. I'll relax. Each of these moments trains your brain to process life in English. Let's practice this outdoor English thinking round together. Imagine you're walking outside right now. The air feels fresh on my face. I can hear birds singing nearby. The sun is warm. The trees are moving gently in the wind. I feel calm and present. Very good. You're not just learning vocabulary, you're building emotional connection through English thoughts. Now let's take this skill into social situations. Because fluency is not just for talking to yourself, it's for connecting with others. The more you think in English, the easier it is to start and maintain conversations. Imagine you're meeting someone for the first time. Instead of worrying about what to say, your English thoughts guide you naturally. The person smiles and says, "Hi, how are you?" Your mind instantly responds, "I'm good, thanks. How about you?" Then you ask, "What do you do?" or "How's your day going?" The key here is that you're not translating or planning. You're simply reacting with your English thoughts already ready. Let's shadow a short, real-life conversation together. I'll speak both sides, and you'll repeat softly. "Hi, how's it going?" "I'm good, thanks. You?" "Pretty good." "What have you been up to lately?" "Just work and study. You know, the usual." "Yeah, same here. It's been a busy week." "Totally. I'm looking forward to the weekend." Nice job. Conversations like these sound natural because they come from real thought patterns, not memorized lines. Now let's talk about something deeper. How to handle moments of silence or hesitation in English. Every learner faces them. Those times when you know what you want to say, but the words freeze. The trick is not to panic. Instead of thinking, I don't know how to say this, switch your thought to, how else can I say this? This one shift in thinking turns fear into creativity. You start finding other ways to express yourself in English. Let's practice this creative rephrasing skill. I'll give you one sentence, and then a few ways you could express the same idea differently. I'm tired. I need a break. I feel exhausted. I could use some rest. It's hot today. The weather's really warm. I can't believe how sunny it is. It feels like summer. I don't understand. Could you explain that again? Sorry, can you say that another way? I didn't catch that part. When you think in English this way, exploring alternatives, you build flexibility, and that flexibility is what native-level fluency feels like. Now let's do a spontaneous thinking drill. I'll say a simple English idea and you'll try to quickly think of another way to say it. In English, I'm hungry. Maybe I could eat something right now. I'm happy. Maybe I feel great today. It's raining. Maybe the weather's gloomy. I'm late. Maybe I should hurry. That's funny. Maybe that made me laugh. Excellent. You see, the more ways your brain can say the same thing, the freer you become as a speaker. Now let's shift to listening, because thinking in English makes listening easier and more natural. When your thoughts are in English, your brain doesn't need to translate what you hear. It simply understands it. You start catching details, intonation, and rhythm automatically. So next time you listen to an English video or podcast, try to think with the speaker. Instead of passively listening, react in your mind. If they say, I love traveling, think me too. If they say, it was a tough week, think, I know that feeling. That's active listening, and it strengthens your inner English voice every time you do it. Let's practice this quickly. I'll tell a short story, and after each line, imagine your English thought response. Yesterday, I went shopping with my friend. You think, that sounds fun. We saw a big sale at the mall. You think, maybe they bought something nice. I bought a new jacket. You think, I love new clothes. Then we had lunch together. You think, I'd like to do that too. It was such a nice day. You think, good for them. Perfect. See how your mind stays in English the whole time? That's real fluency practice. Now, let's talk about self-motivation, because keeping this habit every day requires kindness and belief in yourself. Some days your English thoughts will flow easily. Other days, they'll feel slow or awkward. That's normal. It means your brain is adapting. When that happens, don't criticize yourself. Instead, use gentle, encouraging English thoughts like these. It's okay. I'm learning. Every day I get better. I can do this. Fluency takes time, but I'm on my way. Let's repeat those softly together now. I'm patient with myself. I'm consistent with my practice. English is becoming part of me. I trust the process. I'm proud of my progress. Wonderful. That mindset keeps your practice strong even when motivation drops. Let's now do a more advanced shadowing session. 1 full day described entirely in English thinking. The alarm rings. I turn it off and stretch. The morning light fills the room. I get up, brush my teeth, and wash my face. I make breakfast and check my messages. I leave the house. The air feels cool. I walk to the bus stop, thinking about my plans. At work, I greet my colleagues. Good morning! I focus on my tasks and finish what I started. At lunch, I sit with friends and talk about the weekend. After work, I go home, make dinner, and relax. Before bed, I reflect. Today was a good day. That's a complete day lived in English thinking, from start to finish. When your mind can describe an entire day in English, you're already fluent inside. Your outer speech just needs time to catch up with your inner fluency. Before we end this part, take one last deep breath. Feel how far you've come already. You've built awareness, confidence, and flow, all through the simple act of thinking in English. Now softly repeat after me. One last set of affirmations to close this section. I live my day in English. I think clearly and speak confidently. I express myself with ease. English is part of my daily rhythm. Fluency flows naturally through me. Take a moment to smile. You're not learning English anymore. You're living it. You're doing amazing so far. We've been exploring how thinking in English is not only a language skill, but a lifestyle. Something that transforms the way you experience every part of your day. In this part, we're going to deepen that connection. We'll explore how thinking in English can help you express emotions, build better memories, and connect more naturally with others in conversations. Let's begin with something simple yet powerful. Emotion and expression. Every language has its own rhythm of feeling, its own tone when expressing happiness, sadness, or excitement. When you think in English, you start to feel those emotions through the sounds and flow of English words. For example, when you're happy, the words themselves sound light. I feel great today. When you're calm, the tone softens. Everything's fine. I'm relaxed. When you're curious, I wonder what will happen next. English carries emotional color, and when you think in it, you start feeling in English too. Let's do an emotional awareness exercise together. Take a slow breath and repeat softly after me, imagining each feeling as a real experience. I feel peaceful right now. I'm thankful for this moment. I'm curious to learn more. I feel proud of my journey. I'm confident in my English voice. Perfect. Every sentence you think in English strengthens your emotional fluency, and emotional fluency is what makes you sound human, natural, and alive in conversation. Now let's talk about memory. You may not realize it, but thinking in English helps your brain store information more effectively. When you translate from your native language, your brain keeps two separate files, one for your language and one for English. But when you think in English, you merge them. English becomes part of your natural thought memory system. This means that when you hear a new phrase like, "I'll get back to you," or "that make sense," you don't just memorize it, you experience it. Your brain connects it to meaning and situation, not to a dictionary definition. Let's practice memory through imagery. I'll say a short phrase, and you'll imagine a picture for it in your mind without translating. Ready? It's raining cats and dogs. Imagine heavy rain falling fast. I'm on cloud 9. Imagine yourself smiling, floating in the sky. Time flies. Imagine a clock with wings. Break a leg. Imagine someone cheering before a performance. Call it a day. Imagine closing your laptop and stretching after work. These mental images make English phrases stick because your brain remembers feelings and pictures much better than grammar or lists. Let's now shift to real-life conversation thinking, because this is where many learners still hesitate, even after years of study. The key to speaking fluently isn't just knowing words, it's being able to think and respond instantly. For example, if someone says, "What do you like to do in your free time?" Your goal isn't to translate. It's to feel the question in English and respond naturally. I love reading books. I enjoy watching movies. Sometimes I go for a walk. Let's try a few together. I'll ask, and you answer out loud or in your mind. What's your favorite food? Maybe I love pasta, or I like spicy food. How was your weekend? Maybe it was nice. I went out with friends. Do you enjoy learning English? Maybe, yes, I love it. It makes me feel confident. Where do you live? Maybe I live in a small city near the coast. What time do you usually wake up? Maybe I wake up around 7. Perfect. Simple, short, but fluent, because you're thinking in English before you speak. Let's go a step further and add flow thinking. This means extending your thoughts naturally, like a stream that keeps moving. Instead of giving one-word answers, try expanding a more each time. For example, if someone asks, "How was your day?" you might say, "It was good. I woke up early, went to work, and met a friend for lunch." This helps your brain learn to stay inside English longer, which strengthens automatic fluency. Let's practice that. I'll give a question, and you'll think of a natural, flowing answer in English. No stopping, no translating. What did you do yesterday? Maybe I stayed home and watched a movie. What are your plans for tomorrow? Maybe I'll visit my family and relax a bit. What's something you enjoy doing? Maybe I enjoy cooking new recipes at home. How do you usually spend your evenings? Maybe I listen to music and read before bed. See how simple and real that feels? That's what English thinking gives you. Comfort and flow instead of hesitation and fear. Now let's discuss one of the best secret exercises for mastering English thinking: narrating your life in real time. It might sound funny, but it's incredibly effective. When you describe what's happening around you in English, even quietly in your head, you create constant language immersion. Let's try it right now. Imagine you're sitting in your room listening to me, and start describing it softly to yourself in English. I'm sitting on my chair. I'm listening carefully. I can hear Mia's voice in my headphones. I feel focused. I'm learning something important. Good. Now add small details. The room is quiet. The air feels cool. My phone is on the table. I'm relaxed and present. You're doing it. You're thinking in English about your current experience. That's one of the strongest fluency practices in existence. Let's move into a more creative part: using imagination for English thinking. Your imagination is a powerful tool that can help you practice anywhere, anytime. You can imagine yourself in different situations: at a restaurant, traveling abroad, meeting new people, and think in English as if it's real. Let's do a short imagination exercise together. Imagine you're in a small cafe in Paris. You're ordering coffee in English because the waiter speaks English too. He asks, "What would you like?" And you reply, "I'll have a cappuccino, please." He smiles and says, "Anything else?" You say, "No, thank you. That's all." You sit down, take a sip, and think, "This is delicious. I love mornings like this." That's English imagination. Soft, immersive, natural. Let's imagine another situation. You're meeting a friend at the park. They arrive, wave, and say, "Hey, sorry I'm late." You smile and say, "No worries. I just got here too." Then you start walking together, and you think, "It's a beautiful day. I'm happy to see my friend." These mental scenes build comfort with real-life English, and your brain treats them as real experiences. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest obstacles: overthinking. Many learners pause too long before speaking because they try to plan the perfect sentence. But fluency is not about perfection. It's about flow. Instead of focusing on being perfect, focus on being present. If you make a small mistake, don't stop yourself. Just keep going. Say what comes naturally, and your fluency will improve over time. Every mistake is like a small bridge leading you closer to confidence. Let's practice the keep flowing mindset. I'll give you an example of a natural mistake, and then we'll fix it smoothly. Without stopping, you might say, "He go to work every day." Instead of freezing, just correct yourself softly. "Oh, I mean, he goes to work every day." And continue. That's it. No stress. Let's do a few more. She like pizza. She likes pizza. I am go to school. I am going to school. He don't know. He doesn't know. I can sings. I can sing. Perfect. The goal is not to avoid mistakes. It's to keep speaking, keep thinking, and let your fluency flow. Let's now talk about connecting English thinking with listening to your environment. When you're surrounded by English through videos, podcasts, or music, don't just listen passively. Think with the sound. For example, when listening to a song, notice phrases and repeat them in your mind. That's a nice line. I like that word. I understand that expression. When watching a movie, pause and repeat what you hear in your thoughts. Mimic the voice, rhythm, and feeling. That's how you internalize natural speech. Let's practice a soft shadowing moment together. Imagine you're listening to someone say, "You can do anything if you keep trying." Now think in English. Yes, I can. I just need to keep going. See how you responded naturally without translation? That's the living connection between thinking, listening, and speaking. Now let's bring in a reflection practice to anchor what you've learned today. Before bed, take a moment to talk to yourself in English about how your day went. It doesn't have to be long, just a few sentences that help you reflect and build your English identity. Let's try it now. Today was a good day. I learned something new about myself. I practiced thinking in English. I spoke more confidently than before. I'm proud of my effort. Beautiful. These reflections build not only fluency but emotional connection, the key ingredient of natural English mastery. Finally, let's end this part with a calm visualization of your progress. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. You're speaking fluently in English. Your thoughts flow without effort. You're having natural conversations, feeling confident and free. You're expressing your ideas, your feelings, and your dreams. And people understand you clearly. Now softly repeat after me. I can see my fluent self. I think, feel, and live in English. My confidence grows every day. I'm proud of my journey. Fluency is already inside me. Take a deep breath. Let that image stay with you. This is who you're becoming. Someone who lives comfortably in English, naturally and confidently. My dear English learner, you've been doing beautifully so far. Step by step, thought by thought, you've been transforming the way your mind connects to English. We've talked about thinking in English through your emotions, through imagination, through simple routines. And now, we're going to explore how this single skill, this habit of thinking in English, can touch every area of your life, from your relationships to your career, your confidence, and even your dreams. Let's start with relationships, the way you connect with other people. Thinking in English helps you express yourself honestly and clearly when you meet people who speak English from around the world. It allows you to share your feelings without fear, to listen more deeply, and to respond naturally. Imagine this. You're meeting someone new who speaks English. They ask you questions, you listen, and instead of translating, you respond directly from your heart. You say things like, "I'm really happy to meet you," or "That's such an interesting story," or "I completely understand what you mean." These are real emotions spoken in real English. And when you can think like this, every conversation feels lighter, warmer, and more natural. Let's practice that feeling together. I'll say a short situation, and you'll imagine your English thought response. Someone gives you a compliment. You think, "That's so kind of them. Thank you." A friend shares good news. You think, "I'm so happy for them." Someone tells you they're tired. You think, "I hope they can rest soon." You see two people laughing together. You think, "It's nice to see people happy." Someone helps you. You think, "I really appreciate that." Good. You see how your mind stays soft, positive, and fluent inside English. That's how you build not only your language but your empathy through English thinking. Now, let's talk about work and study. When you start thinking in English, you open up new possibilities in your professional and academic life. You can understand ideas faster, write more clearly, and participate in meetings or classes without hesitation. If you're a student, try this. When studying in English, don't translate your notes into your first language. Instead, write summaries directly in English. For example, if you read a text about climate change, instead of thinking, "Okay, what does this mean in my language?" think, "Climate change means the planet is getting warmer because of human activity." Let's do a mini academic thinking practice. Imagine you've just learned something new. Let's say you read an article about habits. Now describe it in your mind in English. Good habits help us stay focused. Bad habits waste our time. We can change our habits by taking small steps. That's it. Simple English thinking that turns learning into fluency training. If you work in an office or run your own business, this skill becomes even more powerful. When you think in English, you can write better emails, give presentations more confidently, and understand your international colleagues more easily. For example, when writing an email, think, "I'll start politely. Hi, how are you?" Then I'll explain my main point clearly. This mental preparation in English saves you time and makes your words sound natural. Let's practice this with a short email thinking round. I'll describe your thoughts as you write. Okay, let's begin. I'll say thank you first. I'll write, thank you for your message. Then I'll add, I really appreciate your time. Next, I'll explain my answer clearly. Finally, I'll close with, best regards, Mia. That's clear, polite, and fluent. Now let's go beyond daily life. Let's explore how English thinking can help you dream bigger. When you think in English, you don't just learn another language. You open a new voice inside you, a voice that might dream differently, imagine differently, and express confidence in a new way. For example, instead of saying, someday I'll speak English, you can think in English, I'm already speaking. I'm getting better every day. I can use English to travel, to connect, to grow. The language becomes a bridge between who you are and who you're becoming. Let's make this real with a visualization practice. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your future self speaking English fluently. You're in a cafe in another country, laughing and chatting with people from different places. You're comfortable, relaxed, and confident. You're using English easily without thinking about grammar or mistakes. You're just being you. Now softly repeat after me. This is my future. I can see myself speaking clearly. I'm confident and fluent. I use English naturally every day. English opens new doors for me. Beautiful. Keep that image with you. It's not far away, it's already happening. Every moment you think in English brings you closer to that reality. Now let's talk about internal confidence. That quiet voice inside you that sometimes whispers, you can't do it. When that voice appears, you need another voice, your English voice, to answer back with kindness and strength. Let's practice how your English voice can sound inside your mind. It's okay. I'm learning. I don't need to be perfect. Every mistake helps me grow. I'm doing better than I think. Fluency is coming naturally. Repeat them again softly and feel how peaceful that sounds. You're not fighting your thoughts. You're guiding them. You're teaching your brain that English is a safe space, not something to fear. Now let's take this skill into conversations with yourself about your goals. You can use English to motivate yourself every day. For example, before you start your day, you can say softly, I can do this. I'm ready to practice. I am improving every day. Before you go to sleep, you can think, I learned something new today. I'm proud of myself. Let's do a full self-motivation round together now. I'm consistent with my practice. I'm calm and focused. English feels natural to me. My mind works easily in English. I'm building fluency step by step. Good. This is your daily emotional exercise. Training your thoughts to flow positively and fluently in English. Now, let's connect this to creativity, because thinking in English can also help you express your ideas more clearly and creatively. When you start thinking in English, you begin noticing how words can paint feelings, how phrases can carry rhythm, and how even simple sentences can sound beautiful. For example, the sentence, "The sun is rising," feels calm and visual. "The rain is falling softly," feels poetic. "I'm breathing slowly," and smiling feels warm and peaceful. You see, fluency isn't only about correctness, it's also about the emotional beauty in your thoughts. Let's create a little English imagery practice. I'll describe a few moments, and you'll picture them in your mind while thinking in English. The wind moves gently through the trees. The morning light touches the window. A small bird sings outside. A cup of tea sits on the table, still warm. You take a sip, close your eyes, and smile. Perfect. You're training your fluency through mindfulness, calm, descriptive English thinking that feels like breathing. Now, let's turn this creativity into self-expression. One of the most freeing parts of thinking in English is that you can write your thoughts, your feelings, or even your journal entries in English. It doesn't have to be perfect, just honest. For example, at night you could write, "Today I felt a little tired, but I finished everything I needed to do. I practiced my English and listened to a video. I'm grateful for my effort." This connects English to your identity, your story, and that's what makes it stick. Let's try a short journal reflection practice together now. Think in English as you answer these quietly to yourself. What made me smile today? What did I learn today? What am I thankful for right now? How can I improve tomorrow? You don't need to answer in full sentences. Just think in English, because each English thought brings you closer to living fluently. Now, before we close this part, let's strengthen everything we've learned so far with one long, gentle shadowing practice. A calm daily story in fluent English thinking. The morning begins quietly. I wake up and stretch my arms. I feel the soft light coming through the window. I get ready, make my breakfast, and start my day. As I walk outside, I think about my goals. I remind myself to stay calm and confident. Throughout the day, I speak kindly to myself. When I make mistakes, I smile and keep going. I listen carefully to people and think in English. At night, I rest knowing I've made progress. I fall asleep feeling thankful and peaceful. Now, take a deep breath and softly repeat these affirmations before we end this part. English is a part of who I am. I think, dream, and live in English. I'm confident and calm in every conversation. My English thoughts are natural and fluent. Fluency flows through me easily. That's the power of daily English thinking. A gentle, beautiful, lifelong skill that makes you not just fluent in English, but fluent in expressing yourself. You've made it so far. Truly, you should be proud of yourself. You've learned not just about English, but about awareness. The art of living your day through another language. From the first moment we began this journey, we talked about thinking in English. And now, that thought has grown into something bigger. It's not only a skill anymore. It's part of you. Thinking in English has slowly changed the way you see the world, the way you describe what you feel, the way you talk to yourself inside your mind. Each sentence you think, each word you whisper, each reflection you make, all of it is building your fluency quietly, gently, beautifully. Let's take a moment to remember what this really means. Fluency doesn't happen when you memorize thousands of words. It happens when you start connecting meaning, emotion, and rhythm. When you begin to think directly in English, without translation, you give your thoughts freedom. They stop waiting for permission and start flowing on their own. Imagine for a second that your mind is like a river. When you translate, the water stops behind rocks and obstacles, slow and hesitant. But when you think in English, that river becomes clear and continuous. You can feel the current carrying your thoughts smoothly from one idea to the next. Let's practice this with a visualization. Close your eyes for a moment and picture a peaceful stream of water. Listen to the sound of it moving gently. Now think in English, along with that rhythm. My thoughts are flowing smoothly. I feel calm and clear. English comes to me easily. I don't have to try. I just let it flow. My mind understands the rhythm of English. Beautiful. That's exactly how fluency feels. Effortless, connected, and alive. Now, let's talk about something that will help you keep this feeling alive for the rest of your life. Habit and consistency. Because thinking in English is not something you do once, it's something you grow every single day. The more you feed it with small daily practice, the stronger it becomes. Start your day with English thoughts, even 1 or 2 sentences. I feel fresh today. I'm ready to start. During lunch, notice what you're eating and describe it in English. This soup tastes warm and comforting. At night, reflect in English before sleeping. Today was busy, but I learned something new. Let's make this a mini routine together now. Morning thought. It's a new day. I'm thankful for it. Afternoon thought. I'm doing my best. I'm improving. Evening thought. I'm calm and proud of my progress. See how simple it is. You don't need a book or a teacher for this practice. You just need a moment of awareness, a second to think in English. Another beautiful part of this journey is that you start to discover your English personality. Many learners notice that when they speak or think in English, they sound a little different, maybe more confident, calmer, even funnier. That's because every language activates a slightly different version of you. And when you begin to think in English, you start understanding that version deeply. It's like meeting a new side of yourself, a version that expresses emotions differently, sees details differently, and reacts to the world with curiosity and openness. Take a moment now and ask yourself softly in English, who am I when I speak English? Maybe you feel more expressive, more thoughtful, or more adventurous. Whatever the answer is, hold on to it, because that's your English self. And it's growing stronger every day. Now, let's talk about long-term fluency confidence, the belief that you can handle any English situation, anywhere, anytime. This confidence doesn't come from knowing every word. It comes from trusting your thoughts. When your brain is trained to think in English, you always have something to say, even when you forget a specific word. Let's practice that together. If you forget a word, don't stop. Describe it instead. For example, if you forget the word umbrella, say, the thing we use when it rains. If you forget microwave, say, the small oven we use to heat food. If you forget schedule, say, my plan for the day. This small habit, explaining instead of freezing, keeps your fluency alive and moving. Because true fluency is not about perfection, it's about flexibility. Let's try a short improvisation exercise together. I'll give you a few situations and you'll practice describing or reacting naturally. In English, no translation, no pressure, just flow. You can't find your keys. Think, where did I put them? I remember having them earlier. You see a beautiful sunset. Think, the sky looks magical tonight. You drop your phone. Think, oh no, I hope it's not broken. You hear someone singing. Think, what a nice voice. You walk into a quiet room. Think, it feels peaceful here. That's it. Small, natural, living thoughts in English. The ones that build true fluency from the inside out. Now, let's connect this habit to gratitude. Gratitude is one of the best ways to strengthen your emotional connection with any language, including English. When you express gratitude in English, you attach positive emotions to the language, and that makes your brain remember faster and feel safer using it. Let's do a short gratitude practice together. Repeat softly after me and truly feel the meaning of each line. I'm thankful for this moment. I'm grateful for my progress. I appreciate every small step I've taken. English brings new opportunities into my life. I'm happy with how far I've come. Take a breath. Feel that gentle warmth inside. That feeling is fluency too. Emotional fluency. The kind that connects words to your heart. Now, let's talk about one of the most amazing results of thinking in English, dreaming in English. It often happens naturally once your brain gets used to forming thoughts in the language. You start to hear English in your dreams, Or you find yourself talking to people in English even while sleeping. That's a sign that your subconscious mind has accepted English as part of your identity. If this hasn't happened to you yet, don't worry. It will. The more you think in English during the day, the more your brain practices it at night. Let's imagine that moment now. You're dreaming. You're walking through a place where people are speaking English. You hear the voices clearly. You join the conversation easily. And you're not afraid. You're smiling, speaking, laughing. It feels completely natural. Now softly repeat after me. English is becoming part of my dreams. My mind is connected to English completely. I can speak freely, even in my thoughts. Fluency lives inside me naturally and peacefully. Wonderful. You're internalizing English deeply now, not as a subject, but as a living part of who you are. Before we close, I want you to reflect on something important. Learning a language is not a race. It's not about comparing yourself to anyone else. It's about your relationship with yourself, with your own thoughts, your own pace, your own growth. Every sentence you think in English, no matter how small, is proof that you're growing. Every time you describe a moment, every time you react naturally, every time you listen and respond, you're living your fluency. Let's take a few moments to celebrate that now. Softly repeat these lines with full confidence and calmness. I'm proud of my journey. I enjoy learning English every day. I speak with confidence and kindness. My English voice is natural and strong. Fluency is my reality now. Yes, that's exactly it. You're not becoming fluent someday. You're already fluent today in the way you think, feel, and express yourself. Let's end this beautiful journey with one final full circle practice. A calm day lived entirely in English thoughts. The morning light enters my room. I take a deep breath and smile. I say to myself, it's a new day, and I'm ready. As I move through the day, I describe small things in English. I think, the coffee smells nice. The air feels fresh. The people around me are kind. When I work, I focus, and my mind uses English naturally. When I talk, I speak with ease and warmth. When I make mistakes, I smile and keep going. At night, I reflect in English. I feel thankful, calm, and peaceful. Before I sleep, I whisper softly, I'm fluent in my thoughts. English is part of me. Take one long, slow breath and let that thought stay in your heart. You don't have to chase fluency anymore. You're already living it. So, keep going. Keep thinking in English. Keep talking to yourself kindly, softly, naturally. The more you do it, the more fluent you'll become, without pressure, without fear, without doubt. You've learned the only skill you truly need, the skill of thinking in English. Everything else will follow naturally. And before we finish, let's end with one last round of gentle affirmations to seal your progress and inspire you every day. I live my life in English. My mind is calm and fluent. I connect easily with others. I learn with joy and confidence. English is my voice of peace and freedom. Thank you for joining me today. Take this peaceful energy with you and keep living your day through English. One thought, one breath, one moment at a time. You're doing wonderfully, and your journey has just begun.